Alright guys, it's the second day of global launch, and if you have done the rookie missions today, you would have received this item, which is a trait customer box. So this is actually going to be a good opportunity for us to talk about the potential ability and also the trait mechanics in this game, and also to talk about which one should you pick from this trait customer box. Okay, the obvious answer is going to be here. It's going to be the shot blocker. Okay, that's going to be the one you want to pick out of the two. But let's just quickly cover this potential system as a whole. Okay, so basically, I know it's called ability, but I feel like ability sounds a bit weird. I'm just going to call it potential here. Okay, so basically, there's a potential section and also what you call the trait section. And potential one, basically, you unlock different slots as your character level up. Now, you can actually unlock them early by spending some gems. Obviously, do not do that. It's not worth it. You unlock them naturally over time anyway. But basically, once you have them fully unlocked, you can actually equip 10 slots on both the blue, green, and also the yellow sections. And then you can also equip 3 different traits here. Okay. Now, the way you will actually obtain them is through this ability gacha system, and you are actually able to get 1 free draw every single day. Okay. So definitely remember to do that. Now, one other thing which is also very important this early on in this game is that let me try to find it, but in the event section there's actually an ability rewards as well, where right now we actually can, for every single day, this is actually reset every day, you get some basically extra rewards whenever you do a multiple of some summoning on the ability gacha. Now if you actually take a look at all of the rewards you get, you know the sweet spot should actually be only doing 20 pulls every single day. Okay, so even though you can get some extra rewards on 100, it's not really worth it. And in fact, this doesn't actually reset, because I just realized I only done 20 pulls yesterday and this says 21. So I feel like that's probably a typo. So actually it's only the 20 pull daily, which is actually going to reset every single day. The 100 doesn't actually reset. So in which case you should just literally do 20 single summons every single day. And remember, because you do one free one every day as well, what you should be doing is only use 19 of your ability vouchers. Now, once you have actually used all of the free ability voucher the game gives you, whether or not you want to spend extra gems to do the summoning, that's going to be up to you. But as a bare minimum, if you already have those kind of vouchers available, make sure you do 19 every single day. Okay, and then plus 1 free copy, you can then complete the daily 20 pull mission. Okay, so you just build that up over time. Okay, now let's go back to this. So once you have summoned this, you will be getting a small likelihood of some traits straight off, but normally just going to be some kind of resources that you use in order to actually level up your potential and also to level up your trait. But then the other important thing is that once you actually do 100 summons, you can also get the selectable kit as well, where you can choose any trait of your choice. Now, in terms of what potential and traits you want to put on your character, that's obviously going to be depending on the characters themselves. But for the potential, I would actually recommend one very universal set, which you can't go wrong with it. It may not be the most optimal set depending on your character, but it's definitely going to be the most universal one. And the set is going to be the one I have here. For the green one, you're going to have block and vertical. Block is kind of bread and butter in this game, so you definitely need that. And vertical help towards block as well. And then for the yellow one, you want to go for mid-range and block. Once again, block is universal. That's why you go for it here. And then mid-range is basically, even though some characters are not, they can also dunk or 3-pointers, etc. But 2-point mid-range shots is probably the most common shots out of all the characters. And even, for example, for the shooting guards who normally shoot threes, they often have some 2-point shooting skills as well. And for a lot of the centers and power forwards, even though a lot of time they will be dunking, etc., they normally tend also to have 2-point shots. So normally you just can't go wrong with mid-range shots. So that's kind of why that's the choice of the yellow one. And then for the blue one, once again, it's the vertical, which once again is universal because it helps towards blocking. And then you have the mid-range shots, which is probably the most common method of attacking as well. Okay, so this is probably going to be the most universal potential set that you can easily switch on all of the character. Like I said, it may not be the most optimal choice, however, you can't really go wrong with this choice either. Okay. Now, in terms of upgrading it, what you realize is that if you actually try to upgrade them, does say that you can actually reset it from your ability bank, and there's no cost when you resetting it if it's only up to level 2. So a safe bet is obviously upgrade everything to level 2 first, if you're not too sure whether or not you will be using that potential long term. Normally, the ideal way of actually upgrading it is that you obviously upgrade everything to level 2 first, because there's no cost. Then you level up everything to level 3. Even though if you reset it at level 3, there's going to be a cost, but it's a small cost, so it's still going to be okay. And then rather than going everything from level 3 to level 4, what you tend to do is go straight from level 3 to level 5. And the reason for this is, especially for the yellow and the green ones, you can actually unlock a new ability at level 5, which a lot of time is actually really, really valuable. So rather than getting everything from level 3 to level 4, normally you just go straight from level 3 to level 5. At least that will be the case for the yellow and the green one, because they get that additional stat. For the blue one, it doesn't seem to have that additional stat, so it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. But normally, yeah, like I said, you try to go everything to level 2, then go everything to level 3, and then go one by one, go straight from 3 to 5, then 3 to 5, 3 to 5, rather than them doing everything to just stuck at level 4. Okay, so that's basically the way you want to upgrade your potentials. Now let's talk about the traits. So like I said, today we will have gotten a selection where you can pick shot blocker and also one other one, which I already forgot the name. But shot blocker is literally the best trait available, so just pick that. It's not just the best choice out of the two, it's probably the best choice out of all of the ones available right now in the game from the selectable kit. So definitely make sure you pick it up, okay? The reason why it's so important is because blocking is the bread and butter, so you definitely want that. And blocking perimeter is a lot more universal than the ones blocking dunks and layup, because if you actually, let's say, a 3-pointer, it's unlikely you'll be helping to block any of the dunks or layup, etc. Whereas blocking shots, that can be done no matter what is your position. Okay, so that's kind of why it's just going to be the number one choice, and it's very good that we'll be getting for free on day 2. And then if you do happen to summon 100 times, you know, to get another one, the next one I would probably recommend you guys to get is going to be the other blocking one, which I think is Area Zone. Yeah, it's this one, area zone. So basically what it says is that increase your blocking range for dunks and layup, okay? So this one is obviously going to be crucial for centers and power forward who tend to be near the basket. But even if you're a perimeter defender, sometimes you will be required to block the second blocking timing for a lot of the enemy dunks and layup. And that's kind of why this is also a very good choice, okay? So get the 2 blocking one. Then for the third one, that kind of changes a bit depending on what position you play. If you are kind of in a traditional center where you tend to kind of just stay underneath the basket a lot, then you can pick one of the boxing out one, I think. No, that's not the boxing out one. I'm trying to figure out which one is the boxing out one now. Maybe it's not out yet. But basically, if you're a center, you should be picking one of the ones for rebound. So this one, for example, is normally for power forward because this is more for rebounding when you're actually sprinting. There should be a boxing out one, but I just can't actually find it right now. But then the other alternative will be this one. For example, every single time when you win a rebound, you then also increase your rebound competitiveness. Okay, so those are normally the good choices for the center ones. And then if you are attacking ones, another defensive one, this one I also think is decent, which is that when you're actually in the rival's defensive zone, you're able to lower their movement. So that can also help you to guard and mark your opponents a bit better if you have trouble following their drives and dribbles, etc. So those are kind of the more defensive ones. For stealing ones, I don't normally recommend because stealing is a bit more too RNG focused. But normally, if you, let's say, play a guard position or small forward position, I'll probably recommend one of the other more attacking ones. So, for example, this Unstoppable is not bad. It kind of improve everything, so that also makes it somewhat universal. So that's probably going to be the best attacking choice because it's also universal. If you want to be a bit more specialized, you can also do things like this. For example, this one's specific for 3-pointer, and there's probably also going to be a few specific for 2-pointers. Okay, so it's going to be more customized depending on character. But yeah, general rule of thumb, I would recommend getting the shot blocker today for free. Get every zone next, and then for the third one, you can either go for a defensive one, for example, this one defensive zone, or if you want a bit more attacking, you either go for a specialist one, depending on whether you're 3-pointer or 2-pointer, or if you want it to be a bit more universal, you can go for this Unstoppable, which holds a bit of value because it improves everything. Last section in this video is that in the shop, there's also some pay-to-win traits as well, which is basically, a lot of them are actually really, really good. For example, Make Some Noise is one of the best ones available in the game, like even long term. This one is also extremely good for the ones who need an ult very early on. So for example, Akashi or maybe Zone Kagami. Zone Kagami needs this a lot, to be honest. And then this one is also one of the best universal traits available in the game. So if you're a pay-to-win player, you can definitely pick them up if you want. I would probably say Make Some Noise and Two-Way Player. Those are some of the best traits available even in the state of like JP server right now. So definitely you can consider getting them early if you want. If you are a free-to-play player, don't worry too much about it. Those traits should eventually go into the trait selection box in the gacha system as well. Okay, right now it's paid only, it seems like. However, eventually you would also be able to acquire them from here. The only thing I'm not too sure is that when this will be updated. Normally they tend to update it every single season, which is basically determined by your rank game. But all honesty, I can't actually see any time duration on this rank matches, so I don't actually know when is actual rank season. But yeah, eventually over time, it will definitely update, and then you can obtain them for free here. But if you want that early advantage, being a well or pay to win player, then yeah, Make Some Noise, and also that two-way player from the paid shop, and you will have a massive advantage over other players. Okay, so yeah, so hopefully that gives you guys a good idea of exactly how the potential and also the trade system works in this game. Do let me know if you have any questions on this.